Okay, think about the last time you bought something online, right? So you gave them cash and they handed you a product. In Forex, it's a bit different. You are simultaneously buying one currency and selling the other. Because of that, currencies are never traded alone. They always move in pairs. Think of every single currency as a perpetual game of tug-of-war, right? So you've got one currency on the left side of the rope and the other currency on the right side of the rope. The exchange rate you see on your chart, that's just the flag in the middle of the rope. So now to keep your trading clean, you need to understand that the market divides these pairs into three distinct buckets. So in the previous video, we mentioned the majors, then we have the crosses, then we also have the exotics. So let's break down where you should actually spend your time, the majors. This is where all the liquidity lives, and these are the most traded currency pairs, especially if you're beginning. Remember in the last video, we talked about the 8 major individual currencies. Well, when it comes to pairs, there are only 7 majors, and they all have one thing in common, the US dollar. So these are the heavyweights: Euro USD, USD JPY, GBP USD, and a few others. Euro USD meaning the euro against the dollar, USD JPY meaning the dollar against the Japanese yen, and GBP USD is the Great British Pound against the US dollar. In the trading world, we call all these highly liquid. All that means is that there are millions and millions of active traders buying and selling them every single second. So then why does this matter to you as a busy professional or a Forex trader getting into the game? Because high liquidity means stable, predictable price movements, and also very, very low transaction costs. An example is Euro USD, which is the euro against the US dollar, is the most liquid pair on the planet. It's where the cleanest moves tend to happen. I personally trade it and love it because it does follow structure, just because of how liquid it is. The second pair of currencies that we're talking about is, or in the next bucket, is called the crosses. So these are pairs where you take 2 major currencies, but you completely leave out the dollar. So remember the majors had the dollar in them on one side of the rope. Now these ones don't have the dollar on either side of them. An example is that if we take the same euro and pair it against the British pound, then that becomes Euro GBP. Take the British pound against the Japanese yen, it becomes GBP JPY, which is a very, very insane currency pair that the guys who trade it, I mean, shout out to Rick the trader, he seems to have really mastered it. It's very volatile, moves quite a bit, but can also give you some serious character development. So now, even though the dollar isn't involved, these are still very highly active, very liquid pairs because they represent massive global economies. The very last category we're going to talk about in this video is the exotics. An exotic pair is when you have one heavyweight pair or one major currency like the US dollar paired against a currency from a developing or emerging market. Now, the United Nations recognizes 180 legal currencies globally, which means there are hundreds of potential exotic combinations. But the honest truth, since we are getting started, exotics are just a trap for beginners. You don't really need to look at them or want to necessarily trade them. Why? The liquidity is incredibly low because they're not heavily traded. So if you're trying to get into the market, trying to get into the business and be sustainable in it, you don't really need to trade these exotics with their wild volatility. Just stick to the majors and the crosses. In the next chapter, I think we'll look at what to look at in terms of market mechanics and how you can actually make money when your pair moves up or down. So how to go long or how to go short. Long meaning buy, short meaning sell. And the goal for me and you is to trade global, spend local, earn in dollars, spend in your favorite local currency. I'll see you in the next video. I think I need to move back it over. Right. Yeah. So it's one of those things where you're like,